So to our top story, voting disrupted at polling stations across Thailand. 11 polling booths have been shut down in total after anti-government protesters blocked district offices from distributing election papers. Activists have also been blockading roads and preventing voters from reaching polling stations. Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra was one of the first to cast her ballot. She's hoping the election will reaffirm the mandate she won convincingly in 2011. Protesters accuse her and her government of corruption and want to see them step down.
The protesters are blocking the entrance so the officials can't get in. The police who were meant to escort the officials to the polling stations also can't get in.
Wayne Hay is in Dindang at a polling station that's been disrupted by protesters. Wayne, what's the latest there?
Yes, the disruption here was caused because anti-government protesters had prevented ballot papers being distributed from a government office. So the local election commission officials said they simply couldn't hold the poll today. And that is what we've seen in 2 other districts as well in the capital city. So that is 3 in total where voting cannot take place today. Also major problems in the south of the country, 9 provinces there will be no voting today. Not so much of a surprise down there because that is a stronghold of the opposition Democrat Party, which has boycotted this vote, and indeed some candidates down there couldn't even register for this election some weeks ago because they were blocked by protesters. Not hearing reports of too many problems further north and in the northeast. Those areas very popular, very strongly support the governments and the ruling Puea Thai Party of the Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra.
All right, Wayne Hay reporting to us there from Bangkok, where voting has been disrupted in that area of the city. Now, Sunday's vote is the first general election in Thailand in 3 years and was called after months of protests. There are 49 million eligible voters who can cast ballots for the 500-seat House of Representatives. Over 2 million people registered to vote early on the 26th of January, but 440,000 were unable to cast their ballots. They were blocked from entering polling stations by anti-government protesters. They will, however, get another chance later this month. In the 2011 elections, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra's Puea Thai Party won 48% of the vote, putting her in power. The opposition Democrat Party, which dominates the capital, took 35%. The turnout was 75%. Well, Kim McQuay is the Asia Foundation's country representative to Thailand. He joins me live now from Bangkok to talk more about this. So I'm sure you heard there the reporting from our correspondent about polling being called off in a number of areas in Bangkok, the opposition boycotting the election. So a lot of disruption here. It all begs the question, how valid or how credible will these results be?
Well, I think the reports from your correspondent just now are consistent with what we're hearing, not only here in Bangkok from our own observation, but in other parts of the country. And I think for an election that was already surrounded by a great deal of controversy related both to the protests as well as to some of the technical irregularities that were sort of foretold, I imagine that this election is going to still be very controversial tomorrow as well, too, when all is done.
And is it likely then that this election is only going to risk polarizing things further in Thailand, because there is the imminent possibility of legal challenges as well? The opposition supporters, they say they will continue with their protests, demanding that the government resign. I mean, where is all of this going to end?
I fear that we are going to see an ongoing tensions going forward. You know, if the election had proceeded in ordinary circumstances, then I think the expectation was that we would have seen results similar to 3 years ago with a decisive Puea Thai victory. It would have been the 6th victory in succession. But because of this combination of issues and disruptions, then I think that we were likely going to see the anti-government protesters continue to be steeled for further action.
And to perhaps a number of casual observers who aren't familiar with the politics in Thailand and how it's worked over the last few years, when they look at this, they will think if the opposition, if they have a problem if they don't like this government and the way it's doing things, then the way to go about changing that is through the ballot box. So the question becomes, why can't they do that?
Well, that's a question that's been raised by many international observers. How is it that you have a government that has been returned through a decisive election victory 3 years ago finds itself under such controversy? And what we've seen in Thailand over the last decade really is a real tension between those that believe in sort of a stewardship style of governance where the election results can be challenged or individual political actors can be challenged versus the sanctity of the electoral vote. And I think really what we're headed for in due course in Thailand is a lot of introspection on the part of those that hold that traditional view about what they can do in order to mobilize the kind of mass appeal that we've seen the Puea Thai government consistently mobilize over several elections.
We will certainly be following all of the developments in Thailand over the coming days, and good to get your perspective on this Kim McQuay in Bangkok for us. Thanks very much.